We want to thank everyone for joining us today, and I want to start by acknowledging what Memorial Day is. And this is a day that we take to remember those who have lost their lives, given their lives, sacrificed their lives in service to our country, in either in conflict or even in accidents. People who have entered the military and never went home. And our compassion as human beings is such that we cannot help but feel the sadness of the families whose loved one just didn't come home, the spouse, the dad, the son, the uncles, the aunts, the moms. It's a tremendous thing that we ask and we expect as a nation. So today we want to remember the seriousness of that as each person steps forward and takes their oath. We want to acknowledge that sacrifice, and we want to thank them and their families. But in addition, what I would like to do today is to do that which we can do at the spiritual level to make that asking and to make that giving obsolete. Or if our human hearts are open to peace, there is no need for war. Spinoza said that peace is not the absence of war, but it is a state of being. And it is that state of being that we enter today as our way of remembering the sacrifices and our earnest prayer that they never be made again. So we come together this morning and we recognize that there is just one life, and it is God. And that life is whole. No part of God can be against any other part of God. No part of God can hate any other part of God. No part of God has ever been angry. For anger is fear, and fear is the absence of love. And God is perfect love. So at the very truth of our being, at the very truth of all humanity, is this perfect peace, this peace that passes understanding. It passes understanding because it is not logical. It doesn't come from logic and reason. It comes from intuition. It comes from an inner knowing of the experience of God. We open our hearts and we open our minds and we open our souls this very day to the experience of God's peace. As light dispels darkness, we allow the peace that now emerges up from within us, from within our spiritual center, to dissolve every and any idea in consciousness that is unlike peace. We release anger. We release hate. We release fear. We release the idea that our enemies are somehow less than human. Instead, we go to the spiritual truth. We go to the place beyond ideas of right doing and wrong doing. And there we let our souls embrace each other. We embrace the ones we call our loved ones, and we embrace the ones that we may have called our enemies. But in this place we choose to see each and every one as an expression of God, and we live together in peace and harmony. We allow this feeling of peace, the peace that passes understanding, to go beyond our physical boundaries, beyond the skin that we typically think is the end of our consciousness, but is not. And we allow this feeling of peace now to spread to one other. One other. It's as if there's a silver cord that jumps from our heart to theirs, for somewhere there is a heart crying out for peace. And we let the peace that is now overflowing through us to cross this bridge of light. And we let their heart be filled from our heart, which is filled from our awareness of the presence of God. And we now see that bridge of light, that bridge of peace extending from their heart to another, and then to another, and then to another, until the whole world is just glowing with the presence of God's peace. We recognize that in this place of peace, there is no such thing as war. We release and we let go of every and any idea of conflict. And we let the truth of God's peace saturate our being. We let it saturate our leaders and all leaders. We let it guide all decision making. We are grateful to see that we are all living in peace and harmony. We are grateful to see all armed combatants laying down their arms, beating their swords into plowshares, taking all of the energy that was spent in destroying one another, and instead using it to feed, to clothe, and to love each other. We are grateful to know that there is a power in the universe that responds to our word, and this word is our belief in that which already exists, the peace of God. And that power now takes this word and produces whatever change or changes as needs must be in human consciousness to allow the peace that passes understanding to be realized in our experience. We are grateful for this opportunity to come together and to do that which we are capable of doing, to bringing peace about as a real experience in this lifetime, on this earth. So we release this treatment now, so certain it is done that we say together, and so it is.